welcome to Cinematography. I'm Don Perignon, and I haven't slept in a week. Every time I nod off, I keep having this recurring nightmare that there's a sequel to Rubber called Rubber 2, The Trifactor. I need something to help me forget, which is why I decided this year's August dedication is Video Game Month.
Yes, Video Game Month, an entire month where we look at shitty movies based off of video games. And believe me, there are plenty to choose from since most of them suck ass.
And what better way to start off the month than with House of the Dead?
House of the Dead was a two-player shooter arcade game released in 1997 by Sega. Players assume the role of two MSS agents, Thomas Rogan and G, to investigate an island after receiving a panicked phone call from Thomas's fiancée. You fight your way through an army of zombies to rescue her, and depending on your high score and how many continue to use, you get one of two endings. This was actually a very innovative idea. Players weren't used to getting multiple endings unless they were playing a fighter game, and first-person shooters really weren't that great then. The success of the game led to a sequel, which then in turn led to a movie. But is the movie any good?
Fuck if I care. I just hope this, along with the rest of the month, will help me forget about that damn tire. Can't help but wonder what rubber would be like as a video game. Probably just 70 hours of rolling around the desert. Great. Even my jokes are tainted by that fucking movie. Hello. Hello. Hello, and welcome to Cinematography.
Oh, Vince! Oh! 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 That's wrong! Oh! That's wrong! What the fuck did you think? What the hell I was going to do? Every time I stand in front of you, so you don't have disrespect. How far can you take that bullshit? Now it's time to get this shit on. Oh, that's wrong. Oh, that's wrong. Oh, that's wrong. I'll tell you right, bitch. Oh, bats. Oh, oh. Coming to kill ya, we're coming to kill ya, coming to kill ya, we're coming to kill ya, we're coming to kill ya, coming to kill ya.
The movie begins with one of the laziest title screens I've ever seen, followed up with a narration.
It was a nightmare. So many dead people. So many victims.
Well, that's what happens when you announce that the prequels are going to be re-released in 3D. This leads to neon outline imagery of the video game. We're introduced to some of our main characters through narration, one of which is the narrator's ex-girlfriend.
But Simon only has eyes for Alicia, my ex. We broke up a few weeks ago so I could study and she could fence. She loves it.
Truthfully, the narration isn't too bad, except for one thing.
They missed the boat to the rave. If only they decided to stay back in Seattle, they'd all be alive today.
Way to give away the ending. Why would I even bother watching now? That's like me giving away the ending to this review.
This movie sucks.
By the way, this guy Greg here is played by Will Sanders. I only mention it because we're going to be seeing a lot of him this month. The audience is then airlifted to...
The Rave.
Which to my knowledge is the only rave to ever take place outdoors during the daylight.
Why do I get the feeling that the writers look like these guys?
Is the weekend.
Yeah, dog.
Will allow me to crack the bubbly.
Don't mind my doozy.
Is a gentleman with a bro stash invited to this party?
This rave is brought to you by... Back on the mainland, the group tries to charter a boat from a Captain Kirk, played by Jurgen Prochnow, and his annoyingly creepy first mate, Salish, played by Clint Howard, who made his career on playing obnoxious characters, and this one is no exception.
Somewhere in the San Juans. You must know where that is, right, Skipper?
You crazy? They crazy.
No, I don't think so.
Excuse me?
I said forget it.
Yeah, forget it. Forget it. That means stop talking, start walking.
Why?
I guess these were the only named actors their budget could afford.
Now, Since I refuse to soil the good name of Captain Kirk, I'm gonna call this character Captain Caveman.
After throwing enough money at him, Captain Caveman decides to take them, just in time for a Harbor Patrol to show up wanting to search his boat. They leave anyway, forcing the Harbor Patrol officers to pursue them. A couple from the rave decides to go hang out on the beach, providing us with horror movie cliche number 73, skinny dipping. After the woman's done swimming, she finds out her boyfriend has disappeared. And if you ever wanted to know what Lois Lane from Smallville looks like naked,
oh yeah.
She wanders through the woods looking for her boyfriend, where she finds an old house.
Matt? Matt?
Too many burritos.
What the hell was that?
Are they seriously using video game footage for this transition sequences? Could this movie get any more obnoxious?
No.
Yes. That's like if I started showing random clips from my intro during my review. See? Pretty fucking stupid, isn't it?
The group makes it to the island, and Captain Caveman decides this is the perfect spot to hide the guns he was smuggling on his boat. After taking an extremely long walk, since it's pitch black right now, the group arrives to the rave to find that no one's there. Three of them decide to go investigate, while Greg and his girlfriend decide to have sex.
Don't take it personal, Greg. A lot of men have these sorts of problems. I didn't hear you, idiot.
Take a piss.
Go pan the bushes.
Gosh, I just gotta go and take a piss is all. All this beer's gotta go somewhere.
God damn it, movie, will you knock that shit off?
Come on, baby.
While that's going on, Alicia and company make their way to an old house where they're attacked by some of the survivors.
Lisa, watch out! The fuck?
After getting an explanation about what's going on, they decide the best course of action is to get on Captain Caveman's boat and get the hell out of there. Seriously, that doesn't fucking make the movie better! Back at the rave, they find Greg stuck in a porta potty and are attacked by his dead girlfriend. Nice job hiding the harness there, guys. They're saved by the Harbor Patrol officer who's still trying to find Captain Caveman's boat.
Are you gonna arrest him?
Not at the moment. Right now, I just want to get you all as far away from here as possible.
Making it to the boat, Simon decides to jump in the water and swim for it, only to have zombies jump from the boat to attack him. What the hell does she think she's gonna do? Why the hell is everyone cheering Simon on? He's fighting for his life, not playing in a basketball game. You see? Now they got two people to save instead of one.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
They managed to fight out the zombies, but Simon's not done being an idiot.
Fuck investigate, are you, asshole? Are you?
Apparently, the zombies puke acid. Yeah, I bet they piss fire, too. Okay, one more time for good measure.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
The cop decides to go to her boat. Why didn't they just do that in the first place? And she takes Greg with her, while Captain Caveman gives the rest of the group a history lesson on the island. It's a really dull story with bad stock footage and even worse special effects, so I'll just give you the cliff notes. A crazy scientist from Spain was banished from Spain and ended up on the island. The end. Meanwhile, the cop and Greg get ambushed and Greg doesn't make it. Nice, lady. Give the kid a gun that only has 2 bullets left in it. I'm so glad they got that launch platform in the shot. Otherwise, I would have thought this was real.
Really? You're showing me a game over screen in a fucking movie? One that isn't even ending?
After 2 minutes of watching them arm themselves with Captain Caveman's weapons, they make their way back to the house to wait for a rescue.
Okay, what if they're already inside? There's a chance we'll have to take. We can hold up a lot better in there than we can out here once they spot us.
Now remember when I said this movie couldn't get any more obnoxious? Yeah, I was wrong.
Not only do they show us scenes from the game throughout this entire fucking fight sequence, but they also subject us to bullet time. And it must have taken them hours to get to the house because it's constantly raining off and on. Maybe if they actually ran instead of walking, they might have gotten to the house faster. The hell was the point of that? The zombies are outside, not in a fucking well. Although I have to admit, Liberty does look pretty hot in this scene. Now I enjoy a good action sequence, but this is not a good action sequence. And it goes on for 12 fucking minutes. You can only watch bullet time so many times before it becomes fucking annoying. What the hell? Was she seriously just holding them off with a flare? They finally make it to the house, but the door is locked, so they have to find another way in, which leads to the strangest sequence in the movie. Liberty ends up getting killed, and then this happens. Did he just play a music video in his head? They recapped everything we already saw, most of which that just happened 5 minutes ago. What was the fucking point?
No reason.
Rudy and the cop make it to a window, but not before the cop's legs get cut off by the zombies. Yeah, she's pretty much a lost cause, dude. Go open the door before the rest of the people get killed. You see? Had you opened the door 10 seconds earlier instead of messing with that dead body, this wouldn't have happened. Inside the house they find a ship's log, and apparently someone brought a typewriter aboard that ship, since nothing in that book is handwritten.
A ship's journal. And according to the officer's logs, it says that Castillo's hermano killed the captain, then beached the ship and lit it on fire.
Searching the rest of the house for another way out, they come across a strange laboratory.
It's blood.
It's blood?
Yeah, but it's not human though. It's like it's been mutated.
Meanwhile, Captain Caveman thinks he hears a police whistling outside, so he decides to go walk out there and investigate. Okay, he decides to go crawl out there and investigate.
They're gonna kill you.
I'm dead already. See you on Hell, boys.
And in much better movie roles.
Everybody get down!
Well, that was really dumb. He just blew up the door, putting the rest of them in danger. They make their way to a room filled with gunpowder, barricading themselves inside.
Simon! Oh, you guys! There's a door! Get down!
My only regret is this shitty haircut. They end up in an old mine shaft, and with the way behind them blocked off, they have no choice but to move forward. I think right about here their budget ran out because they don't even bother showing guys in costumes anymore. With so many zombies following behind them, the black chick decides to stay behind and fight them all.
I'll take care of these guys.
Oh no, her saucy blackness is too much for us to handle. Oh, maybe not. Rudy and Alicia end up getting captured by Jigsaw, who wants to use them for their body parts. But somehow Rudy magically manages to break free, and after a short fight, they blow up the place using a grenade found on Greg's dead body. I guess he called forth the powers of Brave Star.
Strength of the bear!
Oh, come on. This guy's still alive and in one piece? And then that shack get blown to pieces? Why is it still standing? Alright, here we go. The climatic fight scene. Rudy gets knocked out, leaving Alicia alone to fight Jigsaw. And I have to say, for someone who takes fencing, she's really bad at it. Her posture sucks, her stance is awful, and she's not even holding the sword right, let alone swinging it right. She looks like she's chopping firewood. Rudy gains consciousness just in time to see Alicia get stabbed in the chest. Of course, he's still not dead, and even though there's no electrical impulses going from his brain to his body, he's still able to control it. I would accept this if they were using the magic excuse, but they're not.
Just a flesh wound.
Game over, fucker.
No, I'm not using the clip. This movie isn't worth it.
Alicia falls down dead, and of course, Roy ends up using the blood to bring her back because that's what any rational person would do. AMS arrives to rescue them, carrying Thomas Rogan and G. You know, the two characters that were actually the stars of the game? Yeah, they show up at the end. And what the fuck does AMS stand for anyway? Anti-Monster Squad? Is there that many monsters running around in this universe that they have an actual squad for them?
Maintain perimeter. G and I are proceeding inside. Advise of any contact with reanimated Homo sapiens.
I guess so.
Who are you? Who are you? We're here to rescue you.
How'd they even know they were there? Nobody called them. They had no reception on that island.
This movie sucks.
The acting is horrible. For a movie made in a new millennium, the special effects are abysmal, and the story is just stupid. According to the story, the main villain's whole motivation is to live forever. Then what the hell did he make all those zombies for? What was the point? Was he really that lonely? The 12-minute action sequence really is just repetitive and tedious. It's kind of like playing Pac-Man. You're entertained for the first few levels, but by the time you get to level 7, it's no longer fun.
I'm Don Perignon, and hopefully...
We're coming to kill ya, we're coming to kill ya, coming to kill ya, we're coming to kill ya, we're coming to kill ya, coming to kill ya, we're coming to kill ya, we're coming to kill ya, coming to kill ya, we're coming to kill ya, we're coming to kill ya, coming to kill ya. I want a taste of hemophilia, a drop of thalassemia. I'll drink your blood if you got sickle cell anemia. I'm sick as hell at fiending ya, I'm haunting every dream of ya, seemingly misleading ya just to hear you scream because blood is as sweet as moonshine whiskey. Join outside, you can drink some with me. Yeah. We've all guts to spill, you know the deal, 'cause we so alive when we kill, kill, kill. We're coming to kill ya, we're coming to kill ya, we're coming to kill ya, coming to kill ya, we're coming to kill ya, we're coming to kill ya, coming to kill ya, we're coming to kill ya, we're coming to kill ya, coming to kill ya, we're coming to kill ya, we're coming to kill ya, coming to kill ya. I like platelets so.
No, Liberty. Stay away from the tricycle.